The member representing Orihonde Federal Constituency of Edo State, Honorable Chief Billy Osawaru, has expressed importance in the sectorial debate as it is an opportunity to know the plans of financial sector stakeholders for the country. Says though Nigeria do comparative analysis, there is need for cultural factors.
I represent Orihonde Federal Constituency. The area, my question is, Mr. FRS, I'm most concerned about the taxpayers being willing to actually participate in paying their taxes. I know you put in a lot of measures on how you want to encourage. So please, what are these measures you want to use to encourage the taxpayers to be willing to actually pay those taxes? And secondly, is there a win-win situation between the government and the taxpayers at the end of the day? Or is just a one-way street that the government collects taxes and Nigerians don't have any other thing to look up to as benefit?
Chief Billy disclosed this during an interface with press after the sectorial debate in the National Assembly. He further expressed the need for the National Assembly to sit up in the aspect of oversight, assures that the 10th Assembly will do their part on ensuring checks and balances are done.
Well, I thought it was a good one, and looking at or considering the fact that we are the people's representative, these regular engagements are necessary because when Nigerians are going through what they are going through right now, a lot of them usually will bring their grievances to us, and having this kind of debate would actually, avail us a lot of responses, especially from the executive arm, which, like you saw today, it was an opportunity to engage them to really know what they are working on, what is happening, and I think this is something we want to encourage. And some of us came there with questions from our own constituents, as it affects them real time. So I believe more of this should be done. I believe a problem that is talked about is half solved. Yes, solutions have been proffered. We don't expect everything to work out, but again, if you don't come up with solutions to try something, then nothing is going to be done, and we'll be in a worse situation. So yes, they might have brought in different solutions, just the way they see it or the way they feel will work for them. But I believe as this conversation continues, we should be able to refine some of those, solutions and let it suit, where we are, as Africans, as Nigerians. Yes, sometimes we do comparative analysis. It just doesn't work like that. As somebody that has lived in other climes, I can tell you that for sure. That we have to bring in some cultural factors, as it affects us here in Nigeria. So those other countries might not have similar challenges that we have. So when we are profiling solutions too, we have to, it's not a one size fits all. So we need to look at. So I still believe some, if not, let me say majority of those solutions profiled will work. But what about the determination? The determination of the stakeholders. That's another thing that comes to play. It's one thing to have solutions to problems, but it's another thing to have the willpower, the determination to really want to do something about it. Yes, it's not going to be easy. Sometimes it gets worse before it gets better. But coming up with these solutions and really working on this solution, I think is something we need to encourage.
Speaking on the effect of insecurity on the economy, Chief Billy said if Nigeria do not take care of security, it should forget about investors. Says there is no relenting on the part of the lawmakers. He further expressed need for the private sector to be carried along by the government to reduce unemployment.
The truth is, I look at it more like a shared blame because we all have our different responsibilities. The executive has its own responsibilities, why the legislature has its own responsibilities, then likewise the judiciary. But I see this sometimes when somebody drops the ball, then it's going to become a challenge. If I want to start with the legislature, which I belong, I think we have not been doing too good in the area of oversight. Yes, we can pass these laws, have them in the books, but if we don't do proper oversight, then you are giving the executive leeway to actually get away with a lot of things that they are not doing right that they should be doing right. When you have these checks and balances, being carried out to the letter, trust me, I think a lot of things will change. And sometimes you don't blame the executive because if they have a feed day doing what they are doing, and nobody is putting them on checks, on alert, they'll continue to do it because we are humans. We can be very lazy and complacent if we think we can always get away with so many things. So this is 10th Assembly. Some of us have actually, promised our constituencies, that it will not be business as usual. So some of us belong to committees, like public accounts. And so if you've been opportune to be there, you see a lot of, the probing, going on, because gone are those days where they think they can just bring files, document here and there with high figures, and they think some of us will be that lazy not to actually do the maths. They'd be wrong in so many cases. Because people like me, I'll take my calculator and do the maths. Even during the budget defense, I was able to point out a lot of lapses, and I'm sure before now they didn't have those kind of challenges. So we're able to put them on their toes, looking at, even though most of the time they try to ambush us, by bringing those documents very late at the last minute. We still been able to do some very great things. And some cases where we found out we could not really do a proper job, I have moved motions to ask these people to go and come back or give us some time to really peruse through those documents. And I believe, coming back to your question, is we have to do things differently. You can't be doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Things don't work like that. So we are actually going to be doing more of this. We're going to be calling for more sectorial debates. We're going to be doing more oversight. And I believe things will change. We just need some few scapegoats. Trust me, Nigerians, they know what is right, they know what is wrong. And the few ones that have made this money, whether legal or illegally, don't want to suffer. So the moment they start to see some few scapegoats, they will adjust. I think the legislature is already doing its own part. I remember, was it a week ago, the security chiefs were summoned to Senate. And I'm sure the House of Reps will take a cue from that. We'll be doing that soon too. And actually before we went on break, we had a sectorial debate, with the security chiefs. And like I said before, this is something we want to do more. Because if they know, it's part of the checks and balances I just talked about. If they know that we are right there, watching, reacting when things are not going well, then I'm sure they will advise themselves to do the right thing too. So all the security agencies we have, we want to encourage them to share information, with one another, to work together. Because at the end of the day, we all have similar goals. So as long as we are all stakeholders, these things matter a lot because as we speak right now, Abuja used to be one of the safest towns in Nigeria, but today is no longer the same. So if they have brought the war to our doorsteps, I think we have to do something. This time is not about the Nigerians we don't know. It's about us. When you leave your house, you don't even know if or when your wife goes to the market, she will make it back home. With the rate of kidnappings and everything. So I think this has become a priority. And moreover, if we don't take care of security, then we should forget about investments. How do you attract foreign investment if the investors are not even sure their businesses will be safe or they will be safe themselves? So I strongly believe this is something we're going to continue to work on. We're not going to keep quiet. As legislators, we need to keep making the noise until the executive hears us. And again, it is a shame that we pass this budget knowing what the content of the budget is, and we'll still find out that a lot of these things are not implemented. It's a shame for us to be talking about 35% implementation at the end of the year. That is unacceptable to the Nigerian people. Those are the things we want to discourage. Look at our police. They are not well funded. Yes, the money might be there available, but we need to really dig, let's dig deeper and find out why our police, they are not being taken good care of. How do you expect a man to fight war? How do you expect a man to fight terrorism? How do you expect our police to go out there and give us their best when we don't even take care of them? These are family people. If something happens, what's going to happen to their family? We don't have any insurance coverage on these people. We cannot even give them what they need to fight a successful war. And I think that is a shame. It's unacceptable. So those are areas we need to tackle. Yes, maybe for the military themselves, they are not doing too badly when it comes to funding and all that. But I just think as House of Reps, we have the power of the purse. I think we need to do better. We need to do better again in our oversight. That is why we have all these committees. So we have the committee on police affairs. We have committee on police institution, which I'm a member of. So it's unacceptable for us to pretend that we don't know that our police, they are not being taken good care of. So those things will change in a matter of time, because as long as we don't put it in the back burner, I believe that if we begin to make this noise, the right thing will be done.
Comfort Olayinka, DCTV News.